Variety and content. A tale of family, misunderstanding, and the courage to break free. Imagine this. You've built a life you're proud of, successful career, loving partner, thriving toddler, and a bank account that lets you dream big. You've overcome obstacles most people can't even fathom, like navigating a world that wasn't designed for you. Now, picture your own family, those who should know you best, treating you like you're incapable, dismissing your achievements, and infantilizing you because of a disability. This is the raw, unfiltered reality for a 36-year-old man and his 35-year-old wife, both deaf, who've carved out a remarkable life despite a family that refuses to see their worth. Their story isn't just about personal triumph. It's a gut-punch reminder of how deeply ingrained biases can fracture families and force impossible choices. Buckle up, this is a story that will make you question everything you think you know about family, loyalty, and the courage to protect what matters most. The backstory. A family that never listened. Meet Jake and Emily. Names change for privacy. A couple in their mid-30s who live on the opposite coast from Jake's family. They visit only for major events, weddings, funerals, the kind of gatherings where absence would raise eyebrows. Both deaf since birth, they've faced a world that often overlooks them, but they've never let it define them. Jake is a software engineer with a six-figure salary. Emily is a graphic designer whose work has been featured in national campaigns. They travel the world, have a healthy savings account, and are poised to buy their dream home once the housing market cools. They're the kind of couple you'd expect to be celebrated, right? Wrong. Jake's family, his single father, brother, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins, has never seen past his deafness. Growing up, they did the bare minimum: food on the table, clothes on his back, and small talk that never went deeper than house school. They didn't learn sign language, leaving Jake to rely on lip reading and spoken language, skills he mastered out of necessity. Family dinners were a blur of half-walk conversations, with Jake on the sidelines, invisible in his own home. Emily, who entered the family when they married, faced the same dismissal. To Jake's family, their deafness equates to incompetence. They assume Jake and Emily are bumbling through life, propped up by Emily's family, who must be handling their finances, grocery shopping, and bill payments. The truth that Jake and Emily are thriving independently is unthinkable to them. Contrast this with Jake's older brother, Tom, the family's golden child. Tom isn't deaf, but his life is a mess. Odd jobs, unstable relationships, and a habit of mooching off anyone who'll enable him. Yet, to the family, Tom is the competent one, the one they revere. He's a narcissist who's always belittled Jake, and the family not only tolerates it, they encourage it. This dynamic has pushed Jake and Emily to keep their distance, with Emily refusing to visit since 2017. They've built a life free from the toxicity, but the past has a way of creeping back in. The catalyst: a secret child and a family's outrage. 3 years ago, Jake and Emily welcomed their daughter, Lily. When Emily was pregnant, they made a deliberate choice. Lily would not grow up around Jake's family. Why? Because people who disrespect her parents, dismissing their intelligence and capability, aren't safe for a child. If Lily were deaf, she isn't. They feared she'd face the same ableist treatment Jake endured. Since Jake's family never reached out anyway, keeping Lily's existence private was easy. They avoided social media, and during Jake's rare visits, Lily stayed home with Emily. For 3 years, their plan worked until Tom, Jake's brother, stumbled across a photo of Lily on a mutual friend's social media. The fallout was explosive. Jake's family erupted, accusing him of denying Lily a big, loving family full of cousins our age. They painted Emily as the villain, claiming she controls Jake and orchestrated the secrecy. They argued that their involvement could have helped raise Lily in many different ways. Jake, who's spent a lifetime shrugging off their dismissal, felt the pang of doubt. Was he selfish for cutting them off? Was he depriving Lily of something valuable just because of his own hang-ups? This is where the story takes a sharp turn, forcing us to confront a question that cuts to the core. Is family worth keeping when it's built on disrespect? The emotional core. Why this hurts so much? Let's pause to unpack the emotions here. Jake's story is a masterclass in the pain of being unseen. Imagine pouring your heart into building a life, overcoming barriers like deafness in a hearing world, mastering skills your family never bothered to learn, and achieving success they can't comprehend, only to be treated like a child who can't tie his own shoes. It's not just hurtful, it's dehumanizing. Jake's family doesn't just misunderstand him, they refuse to try. Their refusal to learn sign language wasn't laziness, it was a choice to exclude him. Every family gathering, every missed conversation, was a reminder, you don't matter enough for us to adapt. Emily's experience amplifies this. She's not just Jake's wife. She's a woman who's fought the same battles, only to be dismissed as stupid by people who should be her allies. Her decision to stop visiting in 2017 wasn't petulance. It was self-preservation. And then there's Lily, the innocent heart of this story. Jake and Emily's choice to shield her isn't about grudges, it's about protecting her from a family that might undermine her confidence, especially if she'd been deaf. This is love in its fiercest form. The willingness to walk away from family to give your child a healthier future. But here's where it gets messy. Jake's doubt reveals a universal truth. We're wired to crave family, even when it hurts us. The idea of a big, loving family is a cultural sacred cow, sold to us in movies, holiday commercials, and social media montages. Cutting off family feels like breaking a cardinal rule, and Jake's hesitation shows how deeply that narrative is ingrained. His family's outrage plays on this, framing him as the villain for denying Lily something they claim is inherently good. It's a classic manipulation tactic, guilt-tripping someone into compliance by weaponizing societal norms. And it's working. Jake's starting to wonder if he's the bad guy. The logical breakdown. Why Jake's not the idiot? Let's cut through the emotional fog with cold, hard logic. Jake and Emily's decision to keep Lily away from Jake's family isn't selfish, it's rational. Here's why. Toxic environments harm children. Jake's family has a track record of ableism, dismissing Jake and Emily's capabilities because of their deafness. If Lily were exposed to this, she'd grow up hearing her parents belittled, which could erode her respect for them and her own self-esteem. Even if she's hearing, she'd absorb the message that disability equals inferiority, a lesson no child should learn. Past behavior predicts future actions. Jake's family never learned sign language, never tried to know him, and never embraced Emily. Expecting them to suddenly become supportive grandparents is like expecting a leopard to change its spots. That outrage over Lily's existence isn't about love, it's about control and entitlement. The big family myth. The idea that Lily needs a big family full of cousins is a feel-good cliché, not a fact. Quality matters more than quantity. Jake and Emily provide a stable, loving home. Forcing Lily into a dysfunctional family dynamic for the sake of cousins risks her emotional well-being for no real gain. Jake's family isn't interested in Lily. They didn't keep in touch with Jake for years. If they truly cared about family, they'd have reached out long before Lily was born. Their sudden interest reeks of opportunism, not genuine love. Now, let's address the family's counter-argument, that Jake's denying Lily a family that could help raise her. This assumes Jake and Emily are incompetent parents, which is laughable given their success. It also ignores the reality that help from a toxic family often comes with strings, judgment, control, and drama. Jake's family isn't offering support. They're demanding access to a child they've shown no prior interest in. That's not love, it's ego. The controversial hook. Family isn't always worth saving. Here's the part that might make you squirm. Sometimes, family is the problem, not the solution. We're taught to believe blood is thicker than water, that family is a sacred bond worth preserving at all costs. But what if that bond is a chain? What if family is a group of people who diminish you, disrespect your partner, and threaten your child's well-being? Jake's story challenges the myth that family is inherently good. It forces us to ask, why do we cling to relationships that hurt us just because they're labeled family? This isn't just a personal dilemma, it's a cultural blind spot. We romanticize family to a fault, ignoring how often it's the source of pain. Studies show that toxic family dynamics can lead to anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem in children. Yet, we pressure people like Jake to make it work because cutting off family feels like failure. Here's the truth. Walking away from toxicity isn't weakness, it's strength. Jake and Emily aren't just protecting Lily. They're rewriting the script on what family means. They're saying, we choose love over obligation. That's a radical act in a world that demands blind loyalty. The behavioral psychology. Why this story grips us. Jake's story hooks us because it taps into cognitive biases and emotional triggers. In group bias, we instinctively side with Jake because his family's ableism feels unfair. We relate to being misunderstood or undervalued, making his struggle our own. Loss aversion. The idea of losing family stings, even when it's toxic. Jake's doubt mirrors our fear of letting go, keeping us invested in his choice. Moral outrage. The family's hypocrisy revering Tom while dismissing Jake sparks anger, pushing us to root for Jake to stand his ground. Empathy for the underdog. Jake and Emily's success against the odds makes them heroes. We cheer for them because they've defied expectations. These elements create a narrative that's impossible to ignore. It's not just a story, it's a mirror, reflecting our own battles with family, identity, and the courage to break free. The call to action. Protect your peace. So, what should Jake do, and what can we learn from him? Here's the playbook, backed by behavioral psychology to maximize impact. Go no contact. Strategically. Jake should cut off communication with his family, but not impulsively. Document their behavior, every dismissive comment, every accusation to build a case if they escalate, for example, involving CPS. This leverages the endowment effect. By valuing his family's peace as a precious asset, he's motivated to protect it. Secure Lily's safety. Notify Lily's daycare, future schools, and caregivers that Jake's family is not authorized to pick her up. This taps into loss aversion. The fear of losing Lily to meddling relatives will drive Jake to act decisively. Build a chosen family. Surround Lily with people who respect and uplift her parents' friends, Emily's family, or community members. This uses social proof. Seeing others value Jake and Emily reinforces their worth, countering the family's narrative. Own your story. Jake should embrace his decision as a powerful act of love, not selfishness. Reframe the narrative using self-affirmation theory. By affirming his values, protecting Lily, prioritizing respect, he'll feel confident in his choice. To you, the reader, think about your own life. Are you holding on to relationships that diminish you just because they're family? Take a page from Jake's book. Audit your circle. Ask yourself, do these people see me? Do they respect my boundaries? If the answer is no, it's time to act. Write down one toxic dynamic you're ready to address. Set a boundary, small or bold, and commit to it within 24 hours. Your peace is worth it. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it. Let's spark a movement of choosing love over obligation. A parallel story. The cost of blind loyalty. To drive this home, consider Sarah, a woman I heard about through a friend's experience. Sarah grew up with a controlling mother who criticized her every move, her career, her weight, her parenting. Like Jake, Sarah built a successful life despite the constant belittling. When she had her son, she hoped her mother would change. becoming the warm grandmother she'd always wanted. Instead, her mother began undermining her parenting, telling her son, "Your mum doesn't know what she's doing." Sarah agonized over cutting contact, fearing she'd ruin her son's chance at a grandparent. But after her mother's criticism started affecting her son's confidence, Sarah went no contact. The result? Her son thrived, and Sarah found peace. Years later, her mother reached out, claiming she'd changed. Sarah set firm boundaries, allowing limited contact only on her terms. Her story echoes Jake's. Sometimes the hardest choice is the healthiest one. The conclusion: a new definition of family. Jake and Emily's story isn't just about family feud, it's a battle cry for anyone who's felt unseen. It challenges us to redefine family not as a birthright, but as a choice. Family isn't the people who share your DNA. It's the ones who see you, respect you, and lift you up. For Jake, Emily, and Lily, that family is the one they've built together, free from the weight of ableism and entitlement. As Jake navigates his family's outrage, he's not just protecting Lily, he's setting an example for her. He's teaching her that love means standing up for what's right, even when it's hard. And he's showing us that courage isn't loud or flashy. Sometimes, it's the quiet resolve to walk away. So, the next time you hear someone say, "Family is everything," pause. Ask yourself, is this family worth my peace? Jake's answer is clear. What's yours?